Hello and welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year. I'm sorry I haven't posted in a while, but I've read all of your comments and I appreciate the feedback you've given and the love and support. This year, I plan on making a lot more content now that I'm more free with work and life things. I want to start off by showing you 4 updates you don't want to miss in 2023. The first is the scale tool, and I just want to show people what the scale tool does if you don't remember, because it's been around for a while, but they've updated it so you can now scale more precisely. So we have objects here in a frame. You can see we have frame 1 with these 3 elements. I'm going to go ahead and select all these elements and they're set to scale. I select on the frame and I drag the corner, but it doesn't actually change the text size. So what's actually happening is you're only controlling the text box boundaries. So you can see the boundary is smaller, but the text is still trying to fit within it. I'm going to go undo. The way that we get around this is we use the scale tool. So it's in the move tools with a drop down. We can see scale K. So shortcut K, so we can select an element and hit K. Now when we go to the controls, we can see a double arrowhead. So we can scale like we can. This is the new section that is being updated, which allows us to scale more precisely. And we can also revert back to the original size before we started the scale tool. So we can go back to 1x. You can see I can control the width and the height by pixel. So I can write a number here. I can also control at which point do I want the shape to anchor. So on the top left, if I make it 500, you can see how the top left retained its location. And if I choose the bottom, it just changes like that as well. So I'm going to make it 1x again, back in the center. And to get back to the move tool, you just got to go click, move V or shortcut V, or you can just press this X to get out of the scale tool, because that also works. The next is negative spacing. So this has been a long time coming, but I'm glad that they've added it. So when you have 3 objects, let's just do this. And we use the tidy up tools here, which is also in this drop down menu. So tidy up, or you can distribute. What that does is you're telling Figma to try to make all the elements selected in a row or in a grid with equal spacing. So currently it's 1. And before you couldn't go below 0, but now you can put in a negative integer. So I can say negative 15, and it begins to overlap the elements based on the order of layering in your layers panel. So I can still use the pink controls, which controls the spacing, which is really handy. So this is an awesome addition to Figma. Find and replace is a new feature to help you find and replace text across your entire file. It is pretty straightforward. The shortcut is Command F. It's also in the top left-hand corner. So I can search lorem and I can see all my lorems here. So let's say I want this one. I can double click and it goes to that exact point. So let me just go back to the frame. So I can also click here, and let's say I want to replace it. So how do you place is you go into these settings here. So we're going to explore these settings first. So in the find section, we can see that we can control the properties of the find search. So we can refine it to be only text, frame, component, yada, yada. Or I can select replace. So what that means is I'm telling Figma to replace the word lorem with another word. So I can replace it with people. And let's say I only want to replace the second one, replace. The final thing I want to show is absolute positioning in auto layout. This is a huge game changer. I won't demonstrate exactly how auto layout works in this video because it's kind of a really long, in-depth topic and you should fully understand how it works. But essentially, auto layout is a way to control the spacing of all your elements. So I have this cross here. I'll delete this rectangle. If I was to bring this cross here, it would stretch the frame to include it and allow that equal spacing across all the elements. So let me drag it out. So here's an instance where I want to create a modal and I want a exit button over here, but I don't want it to be in line with all these elements. So if I click on this frame, you can see everything's going to be left aligned in a vertical direction. So how do I put it in the top right? You can click on any element, and in your properties panel, you can see this cross thing, absolute position. What that means is you want the order layout to kind of ignore this element, which is really cool. You can see how the icon has changed to also indicate that absolute positioning is turned on. And now I can go ahead and align it with this text. So let's see. I'm holding the Option key, 32 padding on the left. I can also click on the order layout to check 32 padding on the left. So now I can go ahead and move my exit button to be 32 on the right. I want to make sure my constraints are correct. So I'm going to go top right because I want to stick to the top and the right. And now when I stretch my frame, the cross acts as if order layout has not been turned on. Those are pretty much the 4 tools I want to showcase today. Hopefully you've known them already. If not, hopefully this helps improve your workflow. There is so much to learn this year and there's so much I want to teach you. So stick around, there'll be more videos out soon. But that's it for now. Hope you stay hydrated, take a break, rest your eyes, and I'll see you all next time.